All right, so I've got this pretty cool story for you guys. It's almost like two stories in one almost. So, Canada once again proving that it is better than the United States. They're always one step ahead of the United States, pretty much always. They've had universal health care for a long time now. They have also had gay marriage legalized, I believe, for like 10 years before the United States did. Um, and now, what they have done is marijuana is officially legalized as of the recording of this video because it went into effect on Tuesday at midnight. So today's Wednesday. So it means that it is indeed officially legalized. This is a huge win on the part of common sense and just basic understanding of basic concepts like marijuana not being a big deal, and it's something that has a ton of benefits, and that it's going to bring a lot of revenue to the nation in addition to saving the nation a bunch of money because they don't have to use money to enforce the marijuana ban, which marijuana is heavily used amongst the population in the United States as well as I believe in Canada, although to be fair I don't have those exact statistics, but in the United States it's used very heavily, so I'm going to assume in Canada it's used a lot as well, obviously proportionally, not like it's going to have more the same amount of people, but you know, proportionally speaking, I'm sure they do. So Canada has indeed legalized it. This is a great win. The United States needs to pull their head out of their ass and also legalize this because it's embarrassing. It is completely embarrassing that they have not yet done so. But here's the real story. So this from The Hill. It says, Canada to pardon citizens convicted on simple marijuana possession charges. And this article reads, the Canadian government is reportedly planning to grant pardons to Canadians with past minor marijuana possession charges. It says Canada's CTV News reported that officials will announce the plan on Wednesday, the day that recreational marijuana legalization goes into effect. CTV reported that pardons will be granted to those with possession charges for 30 grams of marijuana or less. The new legal recreational marijuana law allows for possession of that amount. The pardons will not be granted immediately. The legalization goes into effect at midnight Tuesday night. The government will reportedly not announce an intention to issue record expungements or grant amnesty for the cases. Okay, so here is, while this is cool, and I'm glad that they're going to be pardoning these people who were convicted on this, they should be expunged because the law in the first place should never have banned marijuana in the first place. It's so stupid, the idea of marijuana. Marijuana barely, the actual negative effect to society that is, you know, is pretty much non-existent because people on weed, you know, mostly are, it's more of like, you know, a calming thing. It's not really something that makes you aggressive or makes you in any way a danger to anybody, really. It should have never been legal in the first place. And the idea that people with 30 grams or less, simple marijuana possession, the fact that they're not down to expunge is stupid. Okay, it's wrong. They should be expunged. And in California, they passed a bill that would expunge. I believe there were certain segment of the people who were previously charged with marijuana possession, but because it should have never been legal in the first place, their records should actually be expunged rather than being pardoned. Now, the difference between a pardon and an expungement is pretty big. An expungement just completely erases it, right? It completely erases it, saying, basically, this never happened. A pardon leaves that there, but it's just forgiveness. Like, it's a legal forgiving. An expungement is, we're just going to take this out because, you know, we messed up. It was our bad. And this was something interesting that someone pointed out to me about when Trump did the pardon for the boxer. I forgot his name, unfortunately. He didn't do like an expungement where it was like the government saying like, okay, we're going to erase this. No, it was like, gave him a legal pardon. It's like legal forgiveness. Like, what do you mean forgiving him? He didn't do anything wrong. So that's essentially the thing here. Like, this marijuana possession should have never been illegal in the first place. So therefore, their record should be expunged. So while I'm praising the Canadian government for A, legalizing marijuana, B, at least pardoning people who were charged on simple marijuana possession, I am fervently disappointed that they're not going to expunge these people. I basically think it's an injustice that they're not being expunged. But, the progress they've made is huge, and I'm not trying to take away from that. Next up, the United States needs to follow suit and fully legalize marijuana across the board. No distinction between medical and recreational. Should be 100% legal. Of course, there should be guidelines on how many grams you can have, just like Canada does. But we need to move towards that immediately.